I'll have you know I was getting water. I'm not late, so shut up. But give me a few minutes. Give me a second. Actually, give me a second. All right, I'm truly here this time. I misled y'all with the timer there. I didn't know how long what I was trying to do was going to actually last that long. Anyway, hey, what's up, guys? All right. Woo, that's some good water. Yui, I would never, sometimes, often lie to you guys. I would never do that.
Knock his knuckles.
Went down the wrong windpipe there with the water. Hey, what's up, Rio? All right, we got a couple of videos. There's some that are in the Discord, thanks to, I think, to Yui, of course. Again, if you find interesting videos, put it in the chat, in the Discord. You should do it. You should do it. Anyway, we're gonna take a look of a couple of videos on those before we go into Mecha Break. I was also sent a video by a friend who happens to be a VTuber, and they wanted me to watch what is to be Iron Mouse singing, and I was like, she can sing? Wait, her squeaky voice can sing, and apparently she used to be she used to study up and had like some sort of training as an opera singer. So I want to see it. I want to see her singing like an opera, or singing as an opera singer. I feel like I'm the only one putting stuff in there. I know, right? Rio doesn't want to put stuff in there. He's too busy. Nobody wants to put stuff in there. Let me just pick up the video here. So my voice shocked the vocal coach. So she put this out 1 month ago. I want to see, because Iron Mouse is supposed to be one of the more prominent VTubers. Yeah, I want to hear her sing. I want to see what that's all about. I'll be shocked if she sounds like fantastic and magnanimous and all that other good words that I'm trying to use right now. So let's see what she's trying to. Let's see what she's. Actually, my friend is trying to get me to hear this. So let me hear her voice.
Oh boy, oh goodness, oh me, oh my.
I'm so looking forward to hearing Iron Mouse sing opera.
Oh wait, so it's Iron Mouse reacting to somebody reacting to her singing. Uh-oh.
Told repeatedly in those comments that she is a really great opera singer. I can't wait to see. And I want to just say one thing. Iron Mouse, if you watch this, you are such an inspiration for people. Ever since I reacted to My Way, people have been signing up for lessons and they're so inspired by you. They're just completely inspired.
She seems very humbling, even though she could be very wacky crazy. Although I wouldn't say she's as wacky crazy as Chibidoki. I went down a rabbit hole with this, with the VTubers. Bro, it only took maybe a couple VTubers, and it only took, like, my friends saying, hey, I'm going to become a VTuber, for me to understand that this is just a whole universe. There's a whole world, whole universe, man. I want to hear her sing.
I
want to hear her sing. Let's hear her sing.
They experience. So thank you, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I can't wait to hear what you have. Let's do it.
Oh my god, what? That is so sweet. Holy, thank you guys so much. What the heck?
Okay.
I'm so happy. Holy.
Would they spam her with like, hey, you should listen to this?
Oh no.
Ooh.
Wait, this video's old. Wait. Oh
How
my
old is
god. Wait, that's old. How old was that? That was like 3 years ago. Sure, 3
3
years ago, I think. 2 years ago? 3 years ago?
This is recent then. Well, not recent.
Brother, that was 3 years ago. Oh my.
3 years ago, she had over 18,000, going to 19,000 or what is that, subscribers?
God, I'm scared. I'm scared.
Don't be scared. You're only letting me listen to it,
3 years
and
ago, I was still kind of
hundreds of thousands of other people.
I know, my
What's
old
on my
ass
pocket here?
bro, that background.
Oh,
it's a gift.
I got a mini
That
boss
background is a
token
gift
from
that I found
Too Many
on
Games.
Tumblr.
Look at that. But I need to know what she sounds like, bro. I really do.
That's it. That was a gift that I found on Tumblr, bro. And it's so funny because like the way I had it set up, I had it cropped out because in the actual image there's like a guy like lying on the floor, and I cropped it out so like you can't see him.
What?
So pretty. Nice.
Oh my god.
Ooh, listen to that.
Oh god. Oh god. Hold on. I'm sorry. Oh god. I'm having a hard time. Oh, this is gonna be difficult.
She sounds beautiful. What the hell?
This is gonna be so hard. This is gonna be so hard to listen to because I heard like 15 mistakes. Oh god, the breath control just wasn't there, man. It just wasn't there. It just wasn't there. You can hear the struggle. Oh God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, hold on.
She broke, yeah, she did, but like, she still sounds really good.
Work that breath, you're doing it. Very good. That is gorgeous tone.
I have never been confident in the sound of my voice. But because of you, I still sing and I still try.
Ow.
I may not like how it sounds, but I love to sing, and I want to get better. Thank you for constantly giving me hope.
Wait, is that her text-to-speech? Wow. Her text-to-speech sounds amazing. Her text-to-speech sounds amazing.
Hearing you sing Ava Maria will all well.
I believe in you. I believe in you. I believe in you.
That's her personality in that vibrato.
Oh my God, the struggle. Like, you can hear it. I hear the strain in my voice.
Nice slide.
I hear the struggle.
Oh, yep, there is the struggle. I hear it. Yep.
It's okay.
I couldn't finish it.
You got this, girl. Don't give up.
Oh my God, she's gonna make me cry. I can't do it. It's gonna make me cry.
She couldn't go all the way through.
I'm gonna fucking cry. Shit.
Yes, you can. Keep
I
going.
can't finish it. It won't go. It won't go. I feel resistance in my vocal cords.
Ah.
I felt the resistance in my
I'll
cords.
talk about her, what she's dealing with at the end.
It's crazy how she understands what I'm talking about. Well, of course she does. She's a vocal teacher. Of course she knows.
Don't let it be over.
Of course she knows what I'm
It is
talking
over.
about.
Oh, sadsies. Oh, Iron Mouse. Oh my gosh. Okay, so
Okay, understanding
different
this.
factors in this.
She is. I get it. I get it now. When it comes to being a big time VTuber like Iron Mouse, you have to be multi-talented, multifaceted with just like talking to people, associating, singing, brother. I wish I could. I wish I could. Man, I lost my voice when I got into middle school. Couldn't sing in the choir anymore. Like every time I tried to sing, it was graspy. Something felt like it was clawing at my throat every time I tried to reach a high pitch. And that was in middle school, man. Like, and it just kept getting worse from there. Like, I couldn't find... I'll be honest with you. I have this crazy stigma about, like, talent. And it's because, for whatever reason, I kept finding people who were good at something, but I wasn't good at mostly anything. You see what I mean? I also dropped my chip. I dropped my chip. Give me it. Yeah. Give it back. Yeah. Okay. So what was I saying? Yeah, I'm not good at singing, but ow. I'm also very clumsy. Being clumsy does not bode well for a person. I really don't think it's gonna help anybody in life, especially for me. But Iron Mouse is singing, even though she broke a few times. It sounded so good. It sounded so beautiful.
Performance that this is, I believe, just guessing, I don't know, and I'm sure the fans have already told me, this is earlier than the My Way performance,
Yes.
right? There's a couple of different
Yes.
reasons that lead me to believe
Way
this. Now,
earlier.
I really recommend, if you haven't seen my reaction to My Way, go check it out, because I talked about her condition in that video and the enormous weight of what this person is dealing with and has to overcome as a singer.
Oh, she's gonna make me cry. you person, to the person who sent this, F you, bro. I'm gonna start crying. Up.
And I stand to that. In this performance, there are.
I like her personality.
First of all, I'm sorry, I'm gonna get totally ADHD on.
Did she just get bombarded? I thought.
First of all, I'm sorry, I'm gonna get totally ADHD on you guys for a second, but I want to say she doesn't need any vocal effects. There's a really nice natural tone in that voice. I think it sounded a little bit more full, so I am thinking that the folds have thinned down a little more over time. I think that's what I am hearing, but I could be wrong about that.
I mean, she could.
Comments, let me know if I'm right or wrong. But that being said,
is true.
Also,
can we talk about how it looks like she has? Is that a kind of? I'm trying to figure out what guitar she has. I know that the one next to her is like it's a country, looks like a country classic, but like the red guitar that she has right there, I want to think maybe it's an 80 Shamrock. I don't know. My clumsiness is getting to me, and my ADHD just kicked in with that. But that. No. Look at the back. Look at the back. Well, you can hardly see it, but like back here. I know that's a bass. I'm talking about back here. We can hardly see it. It could be something else. Wait, is that a bass too? I can't. Is that 4 strings instead of? That might be 4 strings. I can't see it. I'm trying to. Sorry, I wasn't paying too much attention. I know the red thing is the bass. Oh, now looking at it again, that's orange. That's orange. Okay, that's my eyes like fucking with me. My bad. I misled you guys. But that's a bass. We could tell you that. I don't know what which bass that is. That looks like maybe. I want to say. I need like to double check. I'm trying to figure out like which one that is. So I mean it's a 4-string. It might be. It might be a Sterling. It might be a Sterling. I don't know. It might be a Sterling. It could be a Sterling. I don't know. It might be a 4-string Sterling. I don't know what the one is in the back. I know it's either a bass or a guitar, and I can't really tell. My ADHD kicked in. I'm sorry.
You can tell. Obviously, with just almost making it to the end of the song, she didn't quite make it through. She said she was feeling resistance in the vocal cords. Now, only Iron Mouse can truly speak to what exactly was going on in that moment.
X-ray to confirm. You want to X-ray my throat?
Oh, you actually have an electric guitar. Oh man. Some talented people that I surround myself with. Yui has a guitar. I didn't even know, man. Oh, she has a. That looks like a. Sorry, my ADHD kicked in again. Something behind Iron Mouse. I don't know what that is.
You want to stick a camera down like
that? Actually, might just be a classic vintage country guitar. So
I'm planning. The reason why I haven't
the
done
bass
it
one is a Squire.
I'm worried because I feel like they're like
I thought it was a Sterling.
Nose and throat doctors that like specialize in people who sing, and I want to see somebody for that because I just want to like get myself checked out and make sure everything's working and stuff. But I'm scared because like when I go in, you know, I have to discuss my life and I have to discuss everything, and they're gonna know.
It might be, yeah. You're probably right about
and
that.
They're gonna listen to my voice, and I'm just like, oh my god, what the?
Damn.
So I'm like hesitant and I'm scared. I was talking to a friend. They were like, just make them sign an NDA, and I'm just like,
you need to replace the strings. Oh man.
Conditions will lead to seizing and even pain in the vocal cords as you're trying to vocalize. I work with people every day. If you are a singer who is dealing with any kind of condition, even nodules, whatever, you can sign up for lessons, learn to sing the right way.
Bro, you'd be surprised how sometimes HIPAA doesn't mean shit. Sometimes HIPAA don't mean shit, bro. You want to know why? Because, okay, the doctor will enforce HIPAA, but if you have a receptionist, at times, receptionists don't really think about that shit. There's other people that work at the office, so you'd be surprised how sometimes there's just people that just like to chat and like to say stuff and like to do stuff, you know?
Iron Mouse has training. It shows. You can hear in the resonant space in her voice. There were some really great moments.
This is 18 minutes. So do we get to... Oh, we do. We get to... A second. Okay.
You saw me reacting.
I'll hear her.
Those are the moments I'm talking about.
Let's get to when she sings again.
In there. But the breath work is where you can really hear. There's extra breaths that happen.
It's just, this kind of reminds me when I was in elementary school when one of the music teacher, the singing teacher, would pick out certain students. And I thought I was in trouble, right? So here's a little bit of a story. I used to sing in like a special choir when I was a kid. So in elementary school, of course. And we had like a kind of like a children's, like the whole class had to participate, but the singing teacher, she picked out a few, like 3 kids. And she was like, can you stay after school or can you stay after class? I was just like, oh. And she wanted me to bring a permission slip to my parents. And it was a permission slip for a special choir where we would be trained to sing in a special like singing group for kids, and you brought them all together. Well, okay, let's be honest here. I thought singing was stupid when I was a kid, but I was pushed into it, and bro, I cannot believe that there was so many kids that had such good singing voices. I had no idea why I was there. Why was I there? Hey Ashley, what's up? How you doing? Welcome. Thank you. Welcome. Why was I part of this singing group? I have no idea. Why was I picked out? I have no idea. But they trained us to sing, control our vocal cords, and be able to take on like better pitches. So it was nuts, my man. Well, Devin, thank you for the follow over on Kick. Appreciate it. So, like I said, I have no idea why I was part of this singing group. You know what I will say though? It did teach me something. It taught me that there is a way to enunciate and to speak and to give your vocals out so people will actually listen. It's like a boom in the back of your voice so that people can actually hear you and will hear you. And it's like, and I was taught that as a kid though. I had the opportunity to go onto like a special arts program, but when I went into middle school, I just like lost confidence in myself. It sucks. Was age 12 singing Godsmack. Oh, really? Singing Godsmack? Really? Listen, age 15 warmed an old man's heart singing the full 8 minutes. An American Pie by Don McLean. Dude, I stopped after I was in elementary school, so I don't remember either 12 or 11. Might be 12. Because I know I went to middle school and I just did not participate in any singing at all. So I gotta remember. I might have to ask my folks when I stopped. But I do know that I was like taken there 2 years in a row. And we had to sing in front of a literal freaking theater. Right? A whole theater. Like we were part of some sort of opera. And the thing was, we were all kids from different schools all kids from different schools that were brought together to sing. And you know what was crazy? I thought I sucked. I thought I messed up because I also this is where I learned how to read a conductor. Ooh, lost my chip. This is where I learned to read a conductor, where he did this, and like we had to like know what he was trying to say, where he was pointing, who he was looking at. He'll look at like one side, be like, and they would raise up the volume, go a little bit higher, take the pitch, and I was just like, okay. So now we learned how to do that. We learned how to raise our pitch. We learned how to control our vocal cords a little bit better. Obviously, it was a special choir, and I sang in front of an entire theater. I want to say the theater wasn't as big as what you would find at an opera theater, but it was pretty big. Since then, I can't tolerate high-pitched boys in America. Listen, wait, hold on. What about a soprano? Sopranos have high pitches. Oh my god. I had to sit there and listen to a soprano once. He was one of our instructors for the special choir. He was demonstrating how he could reach a high pitch, and one of the people while we were listening was like, "That you sound like a girl." And he was just like, "Thank you." Because he was an actual trained opera singer. He was teaching us how to control our voice and pitch. And I was just like, wow, that's so cool. Sing like a man, my brothers. Wait. What about the sopranos? Sopranos, you've heard a soprano before. They have high pitch. If you did not know that they were the ones singing, you'd probably be like, oh man, she sounds amazing. Oh man, sorry. Let's get back to. I do want to hear what Iron Mouse. I want to hear her singing voice. She has an amazing opera singing voice at this point. It's amazing. Only if you hot wink like Enrique Iglesias in 1999. I don't think I could do that. Kind of like Helen Quinn. Yeah, kind of like Helen Quinn. Yeah. You are absolutely. I think you're right about that, because Quinn can reach up to a higher pitch. You probably wouldn't tell that it was him singing rather than it's like some other lady, right? Like
right out of the gate. This is a marker for her health situation, because you can clearly hear the training in her voice. Just beautiful tone and vocal control, which is in and of itself amazing because of what she's dealing with. But the extra breath.
Oh yeah, Iron Mouse has like what? Like some sort of some immunization disease, like what was it? CVID? Is that am I right? She has like CVID, some sort of immunal disease. And she was trained as an opera singer? That's tough. People also have to point out that he's a male, that it's a male. Yeah, all the time. I have to point that out too. I pointed out to some of my friends about that. Pull up the 69 eyes, the chair. That's a voice that makes me quiver. Wait. Well, okay with it. I'm thinking about it. That kind of voice puts you off? I could see it though. It doesn't really put me off though. Like the high pitch of it. It's probably because of that one opera soprano guy who taught me how to raise my pitch. But like, and now we have Sonic Frontiers. Of course we do.
Or where it really shows where she's having a little bit more trouble supporting her voice. Now, I think she's committed to the quality of the notes and the words and inserts the extra breath. Ordinarily,
like, make me pregnant deep voice and I was born a man. Ugh. Like, okay. He has a deep voice. He's a deep voice guy. I mean, okay, hold on. Give me a second. 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 Now you will not hear anything for about 30 seconds. Give me 1 second. Also, what the heck is that? What is that on the screen? Get off of my screen. Get off of my screen. Okay, we're back. We're back. Sorry about that. I have to take a look at a message here. Didn't want anybody to pop in and see it. How do you feel, Ashley, about Morgan Freeman's voice? She is a vocal coach. I gotta understand that. She is a vocal coach. She is an expert at this.
Oh my god.
She would want to get through the entire, introductory
just
words. But this is a part of what she's dealing with.
Oh, wait, hold on. I was sent a link. Ah, okay. All right. That was only like 3 seconds. I understand, Ashley. I now understand. I now understand. I apologize. That does sound like the kind of voice that maybe someone of the female class may love to sit down and listen to. I don't care about what a man is talking, but it's singing. I prefer a baritone and a basso profondo. Oh, like how? Okay. But yeah, I think I'm starting to understand, Ashley. That was only 3 seconds. Hopefully, I don't get copyrighted for that one. It was 3 seconds. If they get me for that, I'm gonna be very angry. Not even 3 seconds. It was like 1 second. But okay, I think I get it. Somebody sent me a bit of a clip for that. So, also, what's up, Arcus? How you doing, man?
And so I'm sure if people don't know anything about what she's experiencing, they listen and they think, "Oh, that's poor breath control." Let's focus on the commitment to the quality of the sound. I mean, she did really a good job with that. Okay, so let's check out.
I mean, yeah. I don't know what if immunodeficiency. I'm pretty sure there's a specific, like a very specific. You know what? Just out of respect, I'll learn. I'll learn for her sake what Iron Mouse has. Oh, she's Puerto Rican? That's funny. I didn't know that. She has ZVID. That's what I thought. Common variable immune deficiency, which leaves her highly susceptible to infection, as well as a lung condition. She's singing with a lung condition? Okay. All right. You know what? She's amazing. She's amazing. She's amazing for being able to sing and having a lung deficiency. She needs to catch her breath, right?
Another video, shall we?
This was 2 years ago! Wait, was this 2 years ago or 3 years ago? Shit. Was this 2 or 3 years ago?
Before the weekend due to not wanting to do it over the weekend.
3 years
Gotcha.
Ago. This was 3 years ago because this was this was 5th anniversary. Oh my god.
Wait.
Look at you.
Listen, there's some more darkness in that tone.
Excuse me? What? How is that Iron Mouse? How is that Iron Mouse? You tell me. That doesn't... She got a ghost singer in the background.
See,
But it's
right on.
It's crazy how like that other video,
bro.
When I sang Ave Maria, I don't know if you guys can tell by what I was wearing. This was around the time when I got COVID.
She got COVID? Yeah, of course she would be able to get infected by COVID. Oh man. Alright. Okay. Alright. I'm feeling a little bit more appreciative towards her. She has CVID. She has a lung condition which happens to come from the CVID, and she caught COVID. Oh man, she was still singing during that time. Oh my god. Reeks. I'm not even gonna pronounce that, but I'm gonna try my best. I'm gonna try my best here. Shuai Reeks, thank you. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Iron Mouse, Iron Lung. You got me. You got me there. You got me, Ashley. You got me there. Yeah, no. And I like the same out of women. Lizzie Hale of Hailstorm is great. Gen of Gina Torture or Ginny Torture. And Emily Armstrong from Linkin Park. I like Emily too. I like Emily too when she's doing some Chester songs. That's funny.
Right before I got COVID. I don't know. This was around I think this was before I got COVID. A little bit before. And then this one.
Nonetheless, you had COVID with CVID.
I got COVID around when did we go to the flower park? Was it April or May? Or was it February?
I'm so glad you're with us right now.
March? I don't even know. Time just melts
Oh, there's
together.
some more darkness in that tone.
February,
right on.
yeah.
Someone else who once belonged to me. Still, I can hear him laugh.
Seriously, this is really good. This is seriously really good. Like, holy shit, dude. I mean, she has to be putting on a voice. She can't be, like, talking normally while she's in VTuber mode, right? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not trying to, like, say I'm exposing Iron Mouse or anything like that. But she is a phenomenal singer, especially with her condition. Oh, God, dude. I don't think Emily can do Breaking the Habit well. That is his song, but she does better than him on One Step Closer and Paper Cut. You know what? I wish I could throw on some Linkin Park, just to like rehear Emily again. Like I was young when I got into Linkin Park, like real young. So I didn't like understand honestly like the vocal aspirations that came from the singers. Like I did not appreciate the singing back. I just liked hearing good music and voices. And then I get older and then I start understanding, and then it just like I can't listen to music without hearing tentative talks and speeches and mannerisms and how they enunciate, and it gets a little worrying sometimes. This is what ADHD do to you. The lyrics, on the other hand, I'll never really like remember the lyrics. I don't know why. I like rhythm, tempo, and pitch when it comes to music. You can have music without any vocals, and I'll love it. But my God, that's when you listen to SOAD and not give a shit. No, you're right. You're right. Wait. Okay, hold on.
Was it February?
This is really good.
Yeah, it was February because I wanted to see
She sounds better here, and I guess she like trained up, but she sounds a lot better here. Not saying that her opera singing was bad. Her opera singing was good. It was good.
Blossoms, and they weren't there yet.
He's gone.
Yeah.
Nice.
When I look at
Pronunciation is classical.
Pronunciation is key to a lot of singing. A lot of people don't understand that pronunciation is key. But then you guys are going to be surprised when I say this. All right. You guys are going to be really surprised when I say this. I am more into R&B than I am in rap. I'm more into hip hop, I guess, but I like jazz more, probably above. Like R&B is up there. Jazz I really love. Like jazz because it's mostly instrumental. But and this is coming from like, cuz I'm from Philadelphia, all right? So the biggest thing over there is rap and hip hop. Me, I'm more on the like the soul kind of thing. I'm more on like jazz, bluegrass, blues, and R&B. I like pronunciation and enunciation of words when somebody is singing. Don't get me wrong, I have my favorite rappers. Like one of them is Eminem, but like I think the reason why I like Eminem is because I think he has like a purpose to his voice, even though it's very similar to, or a purpose to his enunciation. So seeing how, you know, a lot of rappers kind of had that kind of the same pronunciation on a lot of things. They say words that are within modernism. You know, they'll say yo, other prefixes and stuff. They won't say whole words all together. They'll be like saying instead of saying they'll say sayin'. If they say moving, they'll say move in. So it's like, it's that. Nu metal was the best movement of music. Was it though? Was it? Like, I don't know. I'm not old enough to understand what my grandparents go through, but they have a different opinion, and they would always, like, when they were alive, my grandparents would have these records and they would put it on, and it would be some of the oldest artists, and she would say that was the golden age of music at the time, and I was just like, damn. But the best movement, maybe nu metal. If we're gonna go by definitions, maybe. Probably right. I want T-Swizzle to make a return. Does he want to return though? Does he? Really? Does he? Has he said anything? I don't know.
I don't know.
Do they? Does T-Sizzle
I'm just no.
Do they?
Why do you smile?
Hold on. I'm curious. You've gotten me curious. Ah. Taylor Swift. I was just wondering. Taylor Swift. You want Taylor Swift to come back? Okay. All right. It was Taylor Swift. I thought you were talking about somebody else, but literally Taylor Swift. I was like, wait a minute, hold on. I've heard T-Swizzle before, and I'm like, I might be thinking about the wrong person. So there's. Let me. Okay. So there's like a guy around he was around Chicago, Delaware, and Philadelphia called T-Swizzle. Like literally T-Swizzle. Or T-Swizz, I think. What was his name? Was it T-Swizz or T-Swizzle? Oh, and I look at that. T-Swizzle, freaking Taylor Swift as a rapper. That's crazy. Yeah, his name is T-Swizz. His name is Swizz. Swizz for short. Okay. She never left, but hasn't come back yet. Taylor Swift? I'm sure she's around.
His smile,
she's around.
That heaven I'd forgotten eases through.
Oh, I don't like that.
Quiet breath through the nose, very nice.
I didn't like that part.
I remember learning that too. Singing out through your nose. I don't know if I could do that anymore.
You could look at me once more.
Oh, that's her, yeah. No, that's Iron Mouse. I can hear it.
If you and I could disappear into the past and find that love we do.
Yeah, that's her.
Never take my eyes away.
Why did she become a singer? I understand she has CVID, but like, oh my gosh, she sounds phenomenal. She owns all her master records. Oh yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, I heard about that. She won and got her. She owns now her own records. She owns it all. Good for her, by the way. Even though it's Taylor Swift, good for her. She's. I'm pretty sure now no like record company is going to be like parasiting off of her. She's the only musician of her caliber to own all her music and creative works. Gotta give it up for that. You really do. You gotta give it up for that. Gotta give it up for that. Honestly, I'm happy for her. I really am.
Oh, I didn't like that either.
Oh, she's judging.
Nice.
He is touching me. I would reach for him, but who can hold a memory?
Nice.
And love isn't everything. That moonlight on the bed will.
Iron Mouse is the kind of person who's going to win at every karaoke and make everyone speechless. Even though everyone's trying to have fun at karaoke, she's gonna start singing and everybody's gonna be like, well, I don't want to sing anymore. I just don't want to do it. It's like, why? We're all having fun. Yeah, we were having fun. It's like, why are you so serious? Oh man. But I'm waiting for a real melanin challenged female rapper to appear that doesn't rip off other people. Cough cough. Iggy Azalea. I don't listen to Iggy Azalea. I don't listen to Iggy Azalea for certain reasons, but mainly it's because I guess it's not my vibe, but it's not like I haven't heard one of her songs. I'm just saying.
Nice.
I just bopped my mute. I'm sorry. Jeez.
Okay.
You could tell by the movement of her avatar. As close as we got is Krayshawn. Well, anyway, you can tell the way that she's moving. She's trying her best here.
Sorry, I'm just hearing all the mistakes. I'm just like, oof, could have done that better. Nope, could have done that better. God damn it! I can't hear myself without criticizing myself.
You changed, and now I don't know who you are. Or could it be that I never really knew you from the start?
Oh my god! At that point, I started crying because it was hurting so bad.
Oh!
I started crying because it was hurting so bad.
No!
I didn't tell anybody.
No!
I'm crazy!
Did I
It may seem like flaws you hear in your own voice, but they tell a story, and like she's pointing out, are a testament to how committed you are to the art and how far you've come and improved.
True.
Don't make me cry. Stop.
You know what, Iron Mouse to voice Julia Caraway from Final Fantasy VIII? Really? Remake? No. No. I have something better. I think she could... Well, actually, no, that makes a good point, Julia. Yeah, that's probably a good point. But maybe print Garnet from Final Fantasy IX. Because remember, there's an opera. Oh, wait. What if they remade Final Fantasy VI? There's that big opera scene. Oh, wait, but no. Iron Mouse still has her squeaky voice. When she's regularly talking. I don't know.
Remembering is all that I can do.
Nice.
I just love singing, man. It's my life. It's my soul. My soul is singing.
Okay. Give me 1 sec, guys. I'll be right back. I gotta go to the bathroom real quick. Okay, I'm back. Thank you, Spotify. Won't happen. There are already rumors that Final Fantasy IX remake gets canceled. That would be a bad idea if they did that.
So
imagine her singing "Eyes on Me." I can imagine that, yeah.
That was okay. That was okay.
She is a very harsh critic on herself, which is understandable. Look at her.
That was okay, I guess.
Wait, what? The difference between her singing and then her actual voice comes back.
That was okay, I guess.
Love her personality. I get it.
Oh my god, that's so sweet.
Oh, you did so great. Yay, that was fantastic.
I had to care for your mom. Oh, that's good for you,
really
Ashley.
Great.
That's
And
good
the
on you.
breath control in that song
Good on you.
was
Hope she's doing
stronger
all right.
than in the first, in the Ave Maria. Better breath control in this one. And power. There's power in there. And I
Singing loves
implore
you too.
Here's the one question I have to have. Is it common for every VTuber to act like they're like 5? Stop. I know it's a persona they put on. I know it's like the deeper I went down when it came to these VTubers, the more I kept seeing the same thing when it came to it. It's like some of them act like they're 5 and some of them act like they're adults. They say some really rude shit, but like they're adults. But Iron Mouse has like a mixed in between there.
To understand that when it comes to power in a person's
that was really
voice,
good singing
when
from her,
they're dealing
actually.
with
Honestly,
certain
like she's really good.
conditions,
She's really good.
It is all about a balanced airflow. And in Ave Maria, when we were listening, and she said, "I just can't do it." She's feeling it in the throat. She literally means like there's probably spasms happening. And I work with people periodically who have various vocal cord conditions that, you just have to learn to navigate. And there are some things that you can't sing through. And that
Lucy Fire, on the other hand, acts like a big sister who knows your search history. And it's scary because it is absolutely true. Also, she apparently has a singing voice too, from what I've heard. Like all these VTubers, man, they it makes me so sad that I stopped singing at a very young age. It makes me sad. It really does.
That's where training is really helpful and therapeutic. So that is something that she was clearly dealing with as she was vocalizing. And honestly, even if she is in a really
Mousy,
solid
you have no idea how inspirational your journey is to us. Your strength has helped me a lot.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Just
she's very humble
given
too.
What
She's
we
Puerto
already
Rican.
have learned,
I didn't even know that.
She's dealing with a situation where there are spasms that happen. There's just not much you can do other than continue to gently train your voice. She really, I really appreciate what she's doing there, working on her voice despite the things that have happened. And hearing the commitment to sounding her best. You can tell how much she loves to sing. I know she knows she's taking these extra breaths. And I know that she knows if she's trained before that you're not supposed to. There's just nothing she can do about it. And she's doing her best. And I love it. And I love what Iron Mouse is doing for other singers, inspiring them. And if you are a singer who wants to work on your voice, no matter what, if you have perfect normal health, or you think there's something wrong with your voice and you want to find out more, sign up for a lesson today. If you love singing, there shouldn't be anything that should stop you, all right?
Maybe I should sign up. Maybe I should get my old singing voice back. Maybe I should. I expect a vocal cover of Hellfire from Notre Dame. No! No! You can't make me sing that. You can't make me sing that. I come in, I practice for like you know, 2 months and I come back and I fulfill that. Ooh. Ooh. And besides, what if that causes like a fluctuation and then like hundreds of people want to hear me sing? I don't know. I can't do it. I'm not Iron Mouse, who is literally trained to sing. I could do Be Prepared. Be prepared. Oh no, that's so bad. You know, they took out Be Prepared from the Lion King movie for some reason. Ain't that weird? Ain't that weird? It's a little weird, don't you think? It's a little weird. You do it in German though? I can't do it. I can't. No language will allow me to do it. I would have to go to a literal vocal like her, to a literal vocal coach, a singing coach to help me get my voice back. I don't even like the sound of me talking, honestly. You guys think that I like talking a lot? No, I hate hearing the sound of my voice. I hated it when I was a kid. I'm going to continue to hate it today. There is no appreciation in what I have to hear in my voice, especially because there's a lot of stuff going on. See, Birds Be Prepared is better. It's better in German. I've never heard it. I don't know. I would have to hear it on my private time, because if I put it on, it's probably going to be copywritten. Yet you stream? I like hanging out with people. I like socializing. I'm an introvert, but I have extrovert qualities to me. I know. That sounds weird, right? An introvert with extrovert qualities or extrovert personality to it. It's a little weird. Like, I can go up to somebody outside and, you know, start up a conversation, but I still count myself as an introvert. I know that's weird. I know it doesn't make sense, but I'm sure you've met people like that. Even the deepest loner wants to travel with a companion. Exactly. And Doctor Who, you're quoting Doctor Who. It's a shame what happened to Doctor Who. I can tell you that for sure. Yeah. Woo! 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 Let's not talk about the show that basically died. Woo! Yeah. Like they I don't know. Who was it Russell T Davis that was show running this, or was it somebody else? I forgot. Oh, it'll regenerate again. Trust. I don't know. They've ruined the show so well that it may take another like 10 to 20 years for them to just reboot it again. Like, I don't know what happened last time during, what was it, the 80s or 90s? When Doctor Who was canceled before, and then they brought it back. With the... it was the 9th Doctor? Or yeah, it was the 9th Doctor. And then I know David Tennant's the 10th Doctor, right? And they went with younger actors this time. And it was just, well, okay, back in the day, wasn't like they were all old guys, but I don't know. They've literally destroyed it for me. They destroyed Doctor Who for me. I can't watch that show anymore.
Let's go.
You guys,
Nothing should stop you from singing. Keep on singing. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Peter Capaldi was the best new Who Doctor. Peter Capaldi. Sorry, I said Capaldi. Apologies. Peter Capaldi was good. I have to admit that he was good. I just don't know. Like, I need to... It's not that I have to convince myself. I think I need to watch his season again. Definitely better than what happened after Capaldi. Because, like, after him, everything just went kind of to shit. I don't know. I don't know what happened. Michelle Gomez as Missy were legendary. They were. Peter and Michelle, yeah, no, you were absolutely correct. That dynamic between the new Master and the new Doctor, like, they had somewhat of like a relationship to like like almost like they were frenemies, enemies that gotten over like being hateful towards each other. It was like, I'm never going to defeat you and I'm never going to defeat you. They had such a good companionship, like especially since, you know, they're both Gallifreyan, right? It's the Master, it's the Doctor, but now she goes by Missy, and it was such a good dynamic. A married couple that wanted to stab each other. That's a good one. That's a good one. They were always trying to like they were really trying to boggle each other's mind. They would always play with each other's like intelligence against each other. I thought that was a really good dynamic. I really did. I really thought that was a good dynamic, but I did not like how one of the companions, basically, what did she become, like a water spirit or something, like a water alien, because she was turned into a like a retro Cyberman. I didn't like that. I really did. I thought that one was a weird writing choice. But yeah, if you guys are singers, yeah, get a vocal coach. I don't know, like Iron Mouse can sing and she has CVID, which honestly, it must be tough. It really must be tough, especially to sing, and she has CVID and has like a lung condition. It must be really tough. I didn't even know she was Puerto Rican, by the way. That's some crazy shit right there. We have... I asked over 400 classic WoW players why they don't like retail. So this one is from my mod Yui. So I want to know...
Okay, so I put my internet journalist pants on again and dove deep into the world.
John Sim was okay as the Master, but not as great as Roger Caesar or Maurice Bernard de Delgo Torres Costello Roberto. I don't... Wait a minute. Listen. Holy shit. The Master as the enemy was always really good. Was always written well, and I think Missy was probably my favorite iteration. That's his full name. Holy shit. Holy shit. That better not be. You better be lying to me. You better be lying to me about that. That can't be his full name. That can't be. You're lying. You're lying to me. I'm going to figure this out. I have the interwebs. I'm going to apply it as my weapon here. That's his full fucking name. Roger Caesar Maurice Bernard de Delgado Torres Costello Roberto. What the? British actor best known for being the first actor to play the Master. I'll be honest with you, I only saw a few episodes of Doctor Who back in those days. Roger Delgado, or Roger Caesar Maurice Bernardo de Delgado Torres Costello Roberto. Damn, dude. Is he? Oh, okay. I was about to say he died at age 55. Get out of here. What happened? No. Oh, man. A name like that was destined for villainy. How do you even get a name like that? Do you add on one on each generation or something? Like, what happened? Let's see what's going on here.
Of Reddit and Blizzard forums to find out why classic players don't like retail WoW.
Why is he like floating and talking? What's going on?
As a person who enjoys both classic and retail, I was curious to find out why so many people prefer to stick to the classic version of the game.
Yeah, that's a good question.
I scrolled through many older posts around the subject and made posts of my own, and this is what I asked.
Wait, I'm sorry. I mean, the 10th Doctor married the 5th Doctor's daughter. What? I don't remember that. What? When that happened? What? That's not right. Hold on. It later revealed that she is Zygon shapeshifter. However, it is ultimately disclosed that she is the real Elizabeth, and the marriage takes place with the Doctor's past and future self as witness. The 10th Doctor, however, eventually abandons his marriage. Okay. I don't even know anymore. I don't know. When that happened? I don't. Woof.
I managed to get over 400 answers, and this video is entirely based on the data gathered from those answers and some other older forum posts. Now, the last time I did a video like this about why PvEers don't like PvP, I tried to find solutions to all the problems people brought up, but in this video we're not gonna do that because, well, you'll find out when we get to the last question I asked in my forum posts. So, this video is going to be more of an essay type video
David
where
Tennant
we find out the most
So David Tennant married the daughter of the actor Peter Davidson who played the 5th Doctor. Is there some sort of like actor to universal character kind of thing going on there that I'm missing out here? So are you saying that the actual 5th Doctor, David Tennant, the 10th Doctor, married the actor, the 5th. So we're talking about actors, right? We're because there'd be something strange about that. I was like, hold on. So it has to be the actors. Please tell me it was the actors, right? It was the actors. It was the actors. Probably the
reasons why
I'm
some
gonna guess to say it
people
was the
prefer
actors.
classic over retail. I'm also going to try to explain all of the topics of this video the best I can, and also share some of my personal thoughts on these matters. And with that, let's move on to the video.
What is going on in that house? What was going on in that house? I have no idea.
Okay, let's start with the most brought up topics that classic players find unappealing in retail WoW. After reading all the answers and posts, I started with listing the most often highlighted issues and divided them into 5 main topics that we will cover in this video.
I could tell you one reason why I don't play Classic and why I don't play Retail as well is Retail doesn't have a good new player experience. And then even when I did go back and play Dragonflight, I just didn't feel the need that I had to go back to play for any other reason, except for just getting gear to do a raid that I'm pretty much sure I probably would not enjoy too much. I don't know. I mean, I could try and go back and do the raids for Retail WoW. I have no idea. And then there's like a ton of people who kept telling me that I should be playing Classic WoW. Like that was the World of Warcraft that I should be playing. But I don't know about that neither.
These are MMO feeling, power progression, focus on endgame.
You know why he made that video? It's because I asked. So, you know what the funny thing is? There's a old Bellular video. Here, I'll show you. This is old. It's an old Bellular video from like maybe 2 or 3 years, 3 years ago, maybe. Yeah, sure. Listen, watch. I'll pull it up. I'll pull it up. So I'll get to you, Ashley. I'll get to you. It should be like 3 years ago or something.
Okay, Vryn Thorn, Superdust saying.
Nope, that wasn't it. This was back in the day too. I'm trying to figure, was it a Bellular clip? It might have been a Bellular clip. I'm thinking it was. Wait, hold on. Was this it?
Just saying, what? It's time for me to talk about what Syncweaver just super.
There it is! There it is! There it is! Here, I got it. WoW versus 14, the new player experience. This was over 3 years ago. Everybody, look, there's people who hated on it, like, Billy, I shouldn't be talking about it. I'm like, look, I was going to talk about it. Basically, I think I got him in trouble with this one.
It's time for me to talk about what Syncweaver just supered us saying.
Yeah.
What do you think the new player experience is like for WoW right now? I just started WoW coming from FF because I was curious. That's an interesting way to do it. Okay, right. It's very different from FF.
See? that was my question. That was me. I was like, hey, because ultimately it culminated into me making this video.
To ask outside help for a summary of what's going on in the story. BFA is after Burning Crusade, Wrath of the Lich King, Cataclysm, Mr. Pandaria.
Yeah, I made this video. Ultimately, I made this video, which is the reason why I asked this question. Where is it? We lost it. This one. Wait, I don't know. It was this one. There you go. It was this one. so it was me. That was me. So, yo, hey. I don't know if you'd like classic. It's not really better than retail in my opinion, just different. It's different for sure, but people keep telling me to play classic. So I would say I think the new player experience in classic is better mainly because it doesn't try to rush you like retail does. And that's where I got the sense of that. Retail just this is Sony's last year. I'm sorry. It's always has me go with that one. Oh no, poor Mike. Whatever will he do? I don't know. Push forward. He's always done good. This is how I started watching all of Bellular, because of, like, you know, I started watching him stream due to what was going on with Shadowlands. I was trying to figure out, like, what's going to be the new player experience and all this. So I asked the question. I popped the question and he answered it on stream, and then he clipped it. I was like, oh shit. He clipped it. Oh god. And people were upset at him for that. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Complexity and Warcraft feeling.
I don't know what that is. What is Warcraft feeling? What does that mean?
So, MMO feeling. When you think of an MMO or massively multiplayer online game,
yes,
what are the first things that come to your mind? For me,
the first thing that comes to mind is people spamming free gold at whatever.com. For $10 I get 10,000 gold, or 100,000 gold gil, or 1 million gil for $20 with a discount.
It's a large world, lots of players, and most importantly, interaction between those players.
Oh yeah, it does. Well, you know what's weird? Okay, so Pandera, Zandalar, the Broken Isles, Kulturets, that's the one where I had to... That one was Battle for Azeroth. It just popped up. I know Pandaria makes sense. It's on the back of a turtle, right? Doesn't look like a turtle though. That's the thing. I've never been to Kuzulgar, so I've never done that. I know Kalimdor is where the Horde is, and the Eastern Kingdoms where the humans are. The Dragon Isles was, of course, Dragonflight. Northrend, I know that one was like, oh, it's the best expansion. It was the Lich King. I've always wondered what that swirly thing in the center of the ocean was. That's always been my question. What is that? What is that? Class of WoW is a time resilient experience. Everything you do in the game can be a boom. Sometimes it's a loss depending on 1 to 59. It is a 16-week journey if you're a streamer, if you're on streamer time. Oh,
now
if you don't know life the game, it's going to take a while.
A lot of people said that they feel like retail has lost the MMO feeling, and that retail is moving further and further away from the MMO part and leaning more towards an RPG. Many people said that retail doesn't feel like an MMO because of two main reasons: social interactions and the open world. Let's start with social interactions. Retail WoW is definitely a more anti-social game than Classic. And this is mostly because of the fact that over the years, Blizzard has tried to make accessing endgame content more convenient through LFG, and now most of the endgame is interacted with through queuing for it in the LFG tool. Most of the endgame is interacted with through queuing for it in the LFG tool instead of interaction between players.
You know what? True. Like, looking for party kind of thing. It's the same thing that 14 has. Final Fantasy 14 has you have their duty roulette, right? You go in, you say, what's up, hi, you run the dungeon, you get the fuck out. You never really have, like, any kind of, like, social experience whatsoever. I think 14 has more of a one-player experience because it really wants you to enjoy the story. Like, so much so they dumb down the dumb dungeons. I'm not going to complain about that in this stream, okay? All right? But 14 does feel like they focus so much on the story that they forgot about gameplay sometimes. 1 to 6 is about an hour, really? 6 to 10 is 3 hours. 10 to 20 is about 11 hours? What is this, RuneScape? 20 to 30 is about 24 hours, and 30 to 40 is about 38 hours. The hell? Jeez, man. I guess you can't, like, spam dungeons and beat big bosses to get a ton of experience. That is something. That would require you to, like, probably ask for outside help, and, you know, you probably have no choice but to make friends at this point.
This has made it way easier and less cumbersome to do endgame content, but it has also removed a lot of social interaction between players. The LFG tool has also reduced the need to keep up social connections with good players you enjoyed playing with, because it's so easy to find people for your groups through the LFG tool.
True.
Also, the whole fast-paced and skill-based endgame formula of retail often leaves little room and time for socializing with other players, and people are more focused on clearing the content as efficiently and as fast as possible.
That's a problem with, like, all MMOs, to be honest. 14 has the same problem. One second. That's been a thing since, like, ARR. Where people try to finish dungeons as fast as possible, because MMO dungeons have become so static that getting through them as fast as possible is the way that everybody wants to go, or at the very least, everybody who's experienced the game wants to go. I was yelled at for going slow as a tank plenty of times in AR when I just wanted to pace. They didn't want me to pace. It's always like that. And I hate it. I really do. I hate it. You can't take your time. You gotta rush. You gotta get through it as fast as possible. This is the reason why, like, I appreciate games like roguelike dungeons, or have, like, some sort of random aspect to the layout to dungeons. I can respect that because you don't know what's going to happen. It's all solo time and depends on your class. I was using basic warrior leveling where the hardest solo experience, where it's the hardest solo experience, but after 40, it becomes way better. I don't know if I want to have a solo experience in Classic WoW, I'll be honest with you. I played back in the old WoW, and people didn't talk that much then either. More than now, sure, but still, people don't even say hi in dungeons. I mean, it's still a problem. I still think it's an MMO-based problem, to be honest. If you have something like LFG or Duty Roulette, I think it's a problem. I really do.
Many classic players find this more antisocial environment unappealing, and
that's a perfect way to put it.
Prefer classic and the social interactions that come with it.
Homer going back in the book.
Let's move on to the open world part of the MMO feeling. Retail WoW has had 9 expansions added to the game over the last 20 years, and with each of those expansions have come more zones and areas for players to explore. The downside to this, however, is the fact that while the open world has grown larger and larger, the player base of Retail WoW has only grown smaller. The outcome of this is that there are far less players out there in the different zones of the open world, especially the older zones that don't have anything to do with the current endgame content, feel empty and dead because there is really no incentive for players to go into those zones. This results in many people feeling like they're playing a solo game, since outside of the current expansion zones, you rarely come across other players.
There isn't a reason to go back to any old city-state for any MMO, honestly. You always go near or stay where the end game is, or where the end game currently is. The problem with that is that it moves the mass amount of people over. And it happens all the time. In 14, if I were to relate, like the first in-game area, you guys know what it was, you know. But it kept pushing forward with that. Like, when it was Heaven's Word, you started Ishgard, you ended in Idleshire, right? Basically the little goblin camp. More donuts, yeah. More donut was AR's in-game area. And they brought back interest when you had to fight the gods. Some people were hanging out there and new players hung out there. But after that, it was Idleshire. And for Stormblood, it was the encampment place. For Shadowbringers, it was... I'm trying to remember all of them. Meanwhile, Limsa never gets empty because that's the designated RP spot. You can't. That'll never be over. And like, Endwalker was. I'm trying to remember. Endwalker was Razat Han, I think. So you have to think about that for a solid minute. Yeah, but that's a very common issue for MMOs. 14 could use a general chat channel. Sure. I think you're right. I think you're right. It could use a general chat channel for anybody to go into. I don't think FF less social just because people don't talk in chat as much. It's just that most people talk in Discord and stuff than in game. True. Having a general chat wouldn't matter. I think it depends. I think it depends on server and worlds. Like, I went to which data center did I go to? Was it Ether? I know that as soon as I got in there, people were chatting up a storm no matter what city I went to. But those are people who were chatting up like, hey, how do I do this? What do I do that? What's going on? How you doing, people? It was weird. Limsa, if you go over there, it's just weird shit. Let me just tell you. We already have Gen Chat shout. Is that Gen Chat though? Is it? Like, if I shouted in another zone, would they hear me? Is it really? Is that really general chat? Is it?
Having an empty open world kills the MMO feeling of the game for many people and makes the game feel more like an RPG than an MMORPG.
Yep.
Many Classic players say that the open world in Classic feels much more alive, and for that reason they enjoy it a lot more. Now that we're done talking about the MMO feeling, let's talk about power.
You shout in the dead zone? Did you shout?
I would argue that most MMORPG players enjoy the feeling of seeing the time and effort put into the game bear fruit in the form of their characters growing stronger and more powerful. This is, in fact, a very important part of the game for many players of WoW and other MMORPGs as well. And in Classic WoW, in my opinion, the player power progression is done very well, and more time put into playing almost always results in a more powerful character. Whereas in Retail WoW, the power progression system is very convoluted and distorted because of the different systems implemented throughout the years. Okay.
Well, if general chat is only zone-wide, then I would think regular chat, like regular chat within a zone, I guess shouting would give you access to general chat-like features, but maybe because I'm thinking general chat should basically just be a chat where anybody can go and anybody across the world should be able to just talk through it. And it would be like not data center wide, but server wide. That's what I would think general chat would be, but I mean, might be to each their own when it comes to the definition of it. General chat could just be zone wide, and I could be wrong about that. I think if you want more people involved in chatting and talking about stuff, maybe there should be a server-wide chat. I don't know. 14 is the only time you get to feel powerful is on Warrior when you unlock Raw Intuition. Wait, what about the rest of its abilities that look like it's just crazy? Right? Is it only unlocked after Raw Intuition? Is Fellcleave unlocked after a Raw Intuition? I don't know. I don't remember.
Okay, let me try to explain this a little bit. First of all, in Classic WoW, the player character's power progression is very linear from the very first level all the way up to the final endgame content. As you gain levels and gear, you feel their effect and get a satisfying loop of feeling your character's power grow and allowing you to take on more challenging content, which then again results in better gear and more levels. In Retail WoW,
Fellcleave is 54, Raw Intuition is 58, I believe. Oh, okay. Because Fellcleave is actually uber powerful. Like, you remember... Anybody remember, like, the tradition of counting how many Fellcleaves one person could do when they were doing an action showcase? Every time. It's like, oh, the warrior's here. So how many Fellcleaves is it this time? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Fellcleaves. And it was like, oh, we get to do 6 Fellcleaves. Oh, man. Those were good times, man.
WoW, however, more often than not, the level scaling of enemies and stats make it so that as you gain more levels, you actually become less powerful as enemy scaling systems start to take effect.
Wait, what? Linear all the way through the game, every level and upgrade increases your power, satisfying power progression loop. Leveling, scaling of enemies and stats constantly affect your power level. Leveling it up decreases your character's power through enemy scaling. Oh yeah. Okay.
This feeling of your character getting worse while progressing through the game seems to be a big turnoff for many players. Another thing that many Classic players don't like about Retail's power progression is the fact that it is, in their words, an infinite treadmill. What people are referring to here is the fact that Retail WoW's seasonal progression system results in all power level progress becoming obsolete in the next season. This happens because of the huge gear item level differences between seasons, and also the various catch-up mechanics that help people reach better gear at the start of the season. This means that the gear that is hard to obtain in this current season will be very easy to obtain in the next one, making the effort put...
This is Keystone level. This is Mythic 20? Is that... Am I reading that right? Mythic 20? That's what I said before? That's what you said before? Hold on. Is it up here somewhere? Is that it? Or is it something else? Bellular Warcraft. Okay. All right. We'll look at that next.
But into gearing in the current season not feel so impactful in the long term. Lots of people that answered my questions disliked the fact that your power level in retail WoW only stays relevant for the couple of months the season lasts. And then
I have a problem with scaling as a kind of a concept for enemies. Because if you go back and you do like any kind of early area, right, it doesn't feel like you got more powerful at all. It takes as much time to kill something as it would if you were like level 10. But I think that's not really affecting all areas in WoW. Now suffers from scaling as well. Oh Jesus. Does it affect all areas now? Because it's a bad... I don't know if that's a good concept of what you want to have when it comes to mobs. It gotten worse? Oh boy.
You have to start your progress all over again. Next, I will try to make it more simple to understand the differences in power progression between retail and classic WoW through some graphs, since it's a lot harder to try and explain in words.
He's bringing the graphs, guys.
Okay, let's start with classic WoW. Like I said before, classic WoW's power progression is very linear. You start at level 1, and each level and each gear upgrade will make you stronger and make it easier for you to overcome challenges. This is not affected by any scaling systems, so for example a level 55 elite will be hard to kill at level 55. But once you get to level 60 and you obtain some gear, the elite will be much easier to kill. Whereas in retail, the scaling of enemies and seasonal resets make the power progression look more like a sine wave in a graph. Let's say an expansion starts at the very first peak of the wave and you have obtained good gear in the last expansion. As you start leveling and gaining more levels, the scaling systems start to take effect, and unless you constantly get good gear upgrades, the enemies will start to feel stronger and your character will start to feel weaker. This is usually at its worst around the time you reach the new maximum level. Only after you reach the new maximum level and start obtaining better gear will the power level scale start leaning in your favor.
Makes sense.
This same power level sine wave will also continue through the many seasons in the new expansion, as the seasonal endgame content is scaled for the new seasonal item levels.
Yeah, that's basically... Okay, so like 14 doesn't really... I don't think it suffers from that at all, because there's no scaling in the PvE zones whatsoever. The only thing that really is noticeable... Well, once you reach endgame, your power doesn't seem to... You know, you don't really seem to get too much powerful even when you do Savage. Even when you do get better gear. You don't get too powerful. You get powerful. You get much more. You get a little bit more powerful, but not too powerful. All except Warrior Within areas. Also, gear doesn't keep up because you level so fast. Even Lore Runner had an issue as a deeply experienced raider and raid leader. I don't know who Lore Runner is, but yeah, that does kind of sound like it sucks. It does sound like it sucks.
So, in a nutshell, many players prefer Classic because of the linear power progression where every upgrade to your character will remain an upgrade, and power progression is not reset seasonally, and you can even take a year's break from the game and still have your character be as relevant as it was before you left. Many players feel as if they...
Holminster Switch, Bardam's Metal, Holminster Switch, and Zot. I guess what you mean by that. So the first dungeon of each expansion. So, and in order to get into those dungeons, you need to get that one level to be able to do them. I don't know if that has a real scaling problem. I don't know. I feel as though, like, once you gain access to the dungeon, it shouldn't feel too bad. Because, like, Holminster Switch didn't really feel like it bumped up any kind of difficulty or anything like that. It more or less it was a dungeon. Holminster Switch. I don't know neither. And Zot, the Tower of Zot. I don't know. Like, all three of those dungeons just felt like they were just regular dungeons to me. I don't know if there was like a real scaling problem with them. I don't know. I have to go back and think about that. I think it's a problem in the item scaling. Squish downs through the few expansions. I guess so. I guess they did squish it down. I don't know. I have to think about that. All I know is that when people got into Dawn Trail and they did the first dungeon, people were complaining about the bosses being a little too difficult. In fact, they complained about the bosses throughout the entirety of the expansion because they thought they were like extreme tier bosses, which didn't make any sense to me. That's not a power scaling issue. That is a difficulty issue. Holminster and Zot were fine. Barnum's was rough, but it's because of gear not scaling. You think they made a mistake with the item level there? Probably. I don't know. I have to think about that.
They wasted their time gearing a character in retail, since that progress will eventually become obsolete.
Yeah, I'd have to think about that. I don't really feel as though there was scaling in any of them.
Retail WoW's focus
like even Barnum's Metal.
One of the major issues that classic players
as long as you were playing the game, you were fine.
Is the fact that the game mostly revolves around current endgame content. The whole game feels like it's designed to rush you through the game and get you into the current endgame loop as fast as possible.
Okay, I thought I saw that wrong. I was like, did he grow a mustache?
As fast as possible. This makes the leveling and early gearing part of the game feel more like an annoying obstacle than a natural part of the game.
Yeah.
Many classic players feel like the leveling phase in retail is simply too fast. The leveling is so...
That's how I felt with retail, that you were just like, you leveled way the hell too fast. And the storyline didn't matter. Story didn't matter in retail. Nobody really cared about it.
Fast that you can't even complete longer storylines of the game before reaching the maximum level. And for many people, the incentive to start doing the current endgame content at that point means that they rarely get to fully experience the stories and campaigns that the leveling experience has to offer. The leveling phase of classic WoW, however, is in stark contrast to what it is in the retail version. In classic WoW, the leveling phase feels like a natural part of the game, and some players even enjoy it over the endgame content of classic WoW. Leveling in classic takes a long time, but for me and many others, it doesn't feel like an obstacle to be quickly overcome, but more like an experience to be enjoyed. I personally feel like the slower-paced leveling of classic WoW also allows you to learn your new classes more easily, as you're not bombarded with new abilities and passives left and right, and you have a lot of time to get used to how your different abilities work before you reach the maximum level.
Complexity.
Okay, the next major topic we're gonna talk about is complexity. Many classic players said that they feel very overwhelmed by the amount of different systems implemented to the game over the years. There are 20 years worth of different systems in the game, and while most of them are not relevant in the current content, there still are a lot of systems to learn and understand.
I think 14 definitely suffers from different pieces of content and some systems that nobody else really wants to use. I mean, I know we had our time with the Island Sanctuary, but who's really going back there, honestly? And I don't know anyone who decide, like, there's a lot of optional things that you can do. Like the relic system for anything before Endwalker, I mean, they were different, and you had to do them just to get the relic gear, the relic weapons, but that's like its own side thing, you know?
What makes this situation even worse is the fact that often the game doesn't do a very good job of explaining these systems to players.
This system sucks. There, I said it.
Oh, you said it.
Well, how is anyone supposed to ever figure this out unless you read a whole freaking handbook? This doesn't make any sense.
Give me 1 second. I am going to throw tea on because I feel myself and my mind wandering. I feel it. I feel it in my head. It's wandering. So give me a second. Give me a second. I'll be right back. Okay. So we have a guest here right now. He was looking kind of bored, so I brought him with me. What are you doing? What are you doing sniffing down there? What, you want to say hi? You want to say hi to the people? Want to say hi to the people? You just gonna sit on? You want to sit on my leg like that? I know. Oh, hey! Look! You just gonna lay there? Is that what you want to do? You just gonna lay there? Okay. Yeah, this is the Sink dog. The Sink doggo. His real name is Kobe. He's a little puppy dog. Well, okay, he's not a puppy anymore. He's 2, but he acts like a puppy because he's so small and can take advantage of that. Yeah, he was sitting out there all by himself, all lonely and stuff. So he likes getting pats in the head. So watch this. Kobe, what are you doing? What are you doing? Okay, so he's probably tired actually. He's probably tired right now. He usually just like jumps up and like start licking people's faces, but I think he's very tired. You want to go sleep on the bed for a second? Here, let me. There you go. There you go. What are you doing? Go ahead and take a nap. All right.
These systems are also very hard to figure out intuitively, so more often than not, you have to Google how they work. Another thing that creates a new layer of complexity to the retail version of the game is...
Yeah, I don't like that neither. Having to always go outside of the game itself to figure shit out. I don't like that, man.
It's the fact that there are constant changes and updates being done to the game that affect class balance, systems, currencies, and so on. And in order to keep up with these changes, players have to read developer blue posts on the forums and Wowhead. I personally read weekly hot...
Like, I'm very thankful for the resources, it's just I wish the game would have taught me that themselves. It's the same problem in 14 where new players come in and they, I have to fix the camera there. New players come in and they're going through the dungeons and they're going through the game, they're enjoying the story, but it's not like the game itself is actually teaching them, teaching them how to play the game in an optimized fashion. And I know a lot of people hate when I say that. I should say it does not prepare you for Dawn Trail. I should say that. It does not prepare you for Dawn Trail. If you go through the game from beginning to Endwalker, it does not prepare you for Dawn Trail. And there was a comment in one of my other videos where it was like, oh, the dungeons are perfectly fine. I think you're teetering on the line of like whether this is supposed to be good or bad or anything like that. And I'm like, I'm not teetering on the line. It is literally bad. 14 class balance. 6 years of pretending ranged physical DPS doesn't exist. That's that is a true statement. They still need to fix machinists, by the way. They really do. They need to fix machinists. I feel bad for every machinist, especially for PvE. PvP, machinists are kind of monsters. PvE, they need help.
Fix blue posts and different updates weekly to stay on top of things that are happening in retail WoW. The fact that constant changes aren't being made to the classic version also means that you can take a long break from the game, and when you come back, the skills and knowledge you've gathered so far will still be relevant and useful.
Right. That's a kind of like the issue. Like, I don't know if 14 has that kind of deep of an issue. I know they only have an issue of raising their players. I don't know if mechanics being changed was another issue. Like I said, two people were struggling to develop in the PvE side. 2 people were struggling to develop on the PvE side too.
Whereas in retail WoW, taking a long break and returning to the game will often mean that the game has dramatically changed, and your main class, for example, might have reworked talents and a completely new, different playstyle, and your previous experience is no longer that relevant. And many people that answered my question said that they enjoy classic WoW over retail for this very reason.
Damn.
Some people prefer the fact that they know exactly what they're getting from a new character and how class balance and different systems work from the very first levels to the final end game.
Warcraft feeling. Yeah, that's the one that I wanted to know.
Moving on to our final main topic, which is
he has
Warcraft
a top hat.
feeling.
I was like,
many people seem to feel like retail WoW has over the years lost its identity and no longer lives up to the expectations people have for a Warcraft game, both story and graphics wise. The lore and look of the game has in many players' eyes been very Disney-fied, and the story no longer of the game has in many players' eyes been
look at that head. That head is like, oh my gosh, the head is so angry.
Very Disney-fied. And the
did they fix that? I heard they fixed the Drakthir. I heard they fixed that. You better not be biting your butt over there. I heard they fixed the Drakthir, that they had, like, you know, males can have wider shoulders or something like that. But like, did they really fix the Drakthir?
Story no longer follows in the footsteps of the more brutal and war-focused pattern that Warcraft lore used to have. The story of the game now has more of an emotional focus, and the major cinematics and story...
Yeah, everyone's a druid now. I'm sorry. It just feels that way, because, you know, like, druids are more emotional and into nature and all that other stuff, and that's what they were portrayed as. But, like, is his World of Warcraft? Warcraft? It's World of Warcraft, right? So I would expect to see a more of a darker tone. You really don't get that. I didn't get that from seeing the cutscenes within The War Within. And it's called The War Within. Like, I don't know. Yeah, at this point everyone's a hippie. I guess at this point. At least retail stays fresh compared to 14. You get stuck for 2 years dealing with awkward burst cycles. Sorry, Scholar, you can't use chain stratagem on a mob pack. It's useless. I mean, comparable to like combat, maybe you're right. Perhaps you're right. Stuck in dealing with awkward burst cycles. Yeah, you're probably right, because they designed it that way, I guess, to have that burst and then move on to certain kind of like static Dark Knight shenanigans in combat. And I think that's the plan, to have like 2-minute burst windows. I just wish that it wasn't that way. To make it more interesting, have more things pop up for if you're paying attention to your hotbar and everything like that. But, you know, there's that burst window. I wish the combat was at least a little bit tweaked to that game, but I don't know. They're never going to touch that. They wanted it to be that way. I'm leveling... I'm leveling Druid tomorrow. I don't know what that means. Are you playing, Are you still playing, Borderlands? Oh, Druid. That's a Druid, isn't it? You're leveling Druid. That's what you're doing. I didn't know what Druid was. I'm guessing you were talking about Druid. I don't know.
Storylines focus more on very Disney-feeling topics of family and friendship and feelings, which is the very opposite of what some people expect.
You can have that, but it's still Warcraft. I would like to see war.
From Warcraft
compared to Astrologian,
I'm sure some people enjoy how the current story of the game is developing, but especially many classic players think that the story of retail WoW has thematically gone in a wrong direction.
I'm not too sure.
A lot of WoW players grew up on Warcraft games and prefer to play classic WoW over retail because they feel like classic WoW still holds true to what they expect from a Warcraft game.
Overall, I think the battle system in 14 does need like changes. I really do. There are some that feels fine. Like I think honestly Black Mage feels fine. I think it does. It has more trigger like opportunities within its skill set rather than like, all right, 2-minute burst window. And then like after that it's all right, so that's basically Dark Knight. Dark Knight, when you start fighting it, it's... And then, like, afterwards, it's... Sometimes you get a... But it's just this. That's all that is. You do so much in the beginning that it exhausts you. It's like the Dark Knight gets tired. He's like... Ah! it's so dumb, but that's how I feel with the Dark Knight. I'm pretty sure every other job has a better feel style to it. Like, Gunbreaker is like for like a little bit longer, but then when it goes off, it's like for only a couple seconds before it goes to another 30 seconds, and then it's... And then the burst window comes up, and it's like... And Gunbreaker can do that, but Dark Knight can't. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, then 2-minute hit. XXX, YZ, F1, 2, R3. And then it just... And then there's Warrior. Oh, Warrior is like... There's a rhythm to a Warrior. And even Paladin is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then it's like... But it doesn't last too long because you get to do it again. So it's 1, 2, 3, and it's like... Like, it has its own burst window, which is like... I'm just going off of rhythm here, but at the very least, paladins get to go for, like, having a rhythm... What's going on? You like... You're listening to me clap? Is that what's going on? Sync Doggo is like... he's like paying attention to everything. I think he might need to go to the bathroom. I don't know. You need to go potty? You need to go potty? No? Of course he's gonna pick that up. Alright, listen. Sometimes he slept through an earthquake before. We had like a small little earthquake in my my little valley here. Lasted for like 10 seconds, but it shook everybody's houses. So like things were falling off the wall. He was just like, it went back to sleep. I was like, oh, okay.
Now we finally come to the last 2 questions that I asked classic players to share their opinions on.
Okay.
And the reason why I didn't try to figure out how Retail WoW could be made more appealing to the classic audience. When asked about what classic players do like about Retail WoW, the answers were mostly about the transmog system and some quality of life features. But these 2 things were also often on the list of things that people didn't like about Retail WoW, so I think the classic community is somewhat divided on...
They don't like the transmog system in Retail? Really? I wish we had that in 14. What's the issue?
Whether these things are a good or a bad thing. Okay, then moving on to the last question of what would need to change in Retail in order to make classic players consider playing it. And the vast majority of the people I asked answered that no amount of changes will make...
What do you mean? The only 2 weaves in Paladin is expansion and Puritor, which is true, but at the very least, the rhythm is very steady for Paladin. So it's very easy to get through it, and it's very easy to get back to its burst window, at least having like a semi-burst window. Whereas Dark Knight's burst window all the time is 2 minutes. Transmog removes the allure of accomplishment. So like what? If you get a new piece of equipment, I don't know entirely how it works, the transmog system. I always thought that the transmog system was if you found a piece of equipment, it'll like the likeness will be added to the transmog so that you can always transfer into it. That's what I always thought. Now you know what I have to put up with in the West Coast. Well, nobody told you to live all the way over there, okay?
Make them want to play Retail. Many classic players seem to feel that the Retail WoW is simply too far removed from what the game used to be, and unless the whole game is remade, they simply have no interest in playing it. And for this reason, I didn't try to think of how the issues classic players...
The thing is that, you know, I hope it doesn't end up with the old school RuneScape incident. So, for those of you who are not into RuneScape, there are 2 versions of RuneScape. There's old school RuneScape and RuneScape 3. RuneScape 3 is the evolution of the original RuneScape, going from RuneScape 2 to RuneScape 3, whereas old school RuneScape was like a snapshot that was saved in a hard drive, and they decided, okay, there's a lot of people asking for the classic experience, so we're just gonna go with like RuneScape Classic. Yes, evolution, that's what it is, Yui. It is the evolution, okay? I know we have some thoughts about RuneScape 3, okay? I understand that, but it is the evolution. I mean, it did go through an evolution per se, right? I'm not wrong about that, but old school RuneScape became the more popular of the 2 between the modern RuneScape 3 and old school. Like, I prefer old school, but there are people who do prefer RuneScape 3. But the problem is that RuneScape 3 had a ton of problems in terms of MTX. So a lot of microtransactions in it. Whereas old school RuneScape didn't have that. They were just getting steady updates and new things that was implemented into old school that RuneScape 3 does not have. And there's a lot of things in RuneScape 3 that they did do right. It's just the problem is there's a lot of easy passes, a lot of like, oh, get rewards and resources for logging in every day. They were doing the whole modern live service shit with RuneScape 3, which ultimately made it very unpopular for a lot of people who moved over to old school RuneScape, which didn't have that. It was like the olden days. The issue is that say in ARR, when it was current, you could see people in Druid Worm's armor. That was something for... Oh, Dreadworm's armor. That's what you're trying to say. Dreadworm's armor. That was something to work for. It was the peak of accomplishment. True. So, am I to say that the transmog system isn't that? Like, you can't just get like the piece of equipment that you really want or that you accomplished that you got and keep the likeness of the old armor that you probably prefer. I always thought that's what it was, that the transmog system was basically you can use old armor set that you had acquired before and you could just put it over the one that you have currently. I thought that's what the case was. Devolution. Bless you. Bless you. That's what I thought it was at the fact the evolution. Meanwhile, my crazy ass still working on OSRS, which is the better of the two. Look at that. You chose the right game, Yui.
Have with the retail could be addressed. Many people consider Classic and Retail WoW to be two very different games that are to be enjoyed for different reasons and in different ways, and I completely agree with this myself. I enjoy the fast-paced, difficult retail endgame and the collection of transmogs and mounts, but I also enjoy the chill, classical MMORPG leveling and gearing experience that Classic WoW has to offer.
Ah, okay. I think if you couldn't glamour
I would like to know
out
how
of
people feel about these issues, so go to the comment section and tell me if you feel like something is missing from these topics and whether you agree or disagree with them. I would also like to know how many of you are playing only Classic or only Retail,
interesting.
or if you're playing both like I do. And finally, I want to give a big thanks to all the people who answered my questions and made this video possible. And I would of course like to thank you for watching this video.
Don't point at
Hope
me.
to see you in the next one.
He just keeps going out into the middle of the ocean. What if you just kept going out in the middle of the ocean? Does like a big fish come up and swallow you or something? Or some kraken pulls you down? What happens if you go all the way out in the middle of the ocean? I wonder what would happen. Or do you just transport to the next zone? What happens? That'd be my question right there. Maybe the sewer beast is in Stormwind. I don't know. That is what T1, T2, T3 was in Classic WoW, and you had to do knacks to get tier 3 armor and weapons. It was the only method. But would you... Okay, so we have the glamour system in 14, right? Would you stick with that over the transmog system over in WoW? Because, like, the transmog system, I think, has just a tad more freedom to being able to, like, catalog and hold on to the likeness of other armor sets, rather than having a glamour dresser where you have to physically put the piece of armor in. On a more serious note, you'll get fatigued and you die instantly when it's depleted. Ah. Oh, even a zombie or something? Oh, wait, no, you said that you get fatigued, so it doesn't even matter. Ah, okay. So... Well, hold on. Okay. All right, so this is, I played WoW on a fresh account. It was hell.
This is Milk Genius. He's a Tauren mage, and he was born to suffer. Except things did not quite go to plan. You see, his suffering actually started much earlier than we intended.
He's in the Dragon Isles right now.
Milk Genius is the first character on a fresh account. Matt and our team is going to use him for some upcoming challenge runs of the game. But, well, challenge actually found him first.
Oof.
That's because just getting to level 80 was an absolute nightmare.
Was it?
Let me tell you, we were shocked to find out how bad WoW really is for new players.
Oh no! Oh no! It's like everything that I've said is repeated in tandem. Oh. Glamour Transmog removes the idea of static progression. When you can just dress your cruiserweight set as basic Mikote clothes, you don't get a sense of static progression. I guess. Like, my main complaint is the mechanical or like the mechanical system of the Glamour, where you only have so many slots to have a set in terms of what you can transmog into, whereas the transmog system, from what I understand from World of Warcraft, is almost infinite. Like, you could just get armor. But I do see what you're saying here. Maybe there's something I'm misunderstanding, though. Maybe there's something I'm misunderstanding.
Truly unplayable in ways that we did not expect, and I am not joking. Whenever people send me things, first impressions count.
Oh shit, Squarespace.
And that's where today's sponsor, Squarespace, can let you make that strong first impression so you actually get through to the people.
It's the ad dance, everybody.
And today, they're easier, faster, and less fictitious than anyone else, and that's all because of the new way that you build a site. And I'll walk you through it. So first, Blueprint guides you through making your own template, and this really is amazing. It helps you select what pages you want, what fonts are best, what color palette to use, and by them, of course, doing the hard work of curating all of those and making it all just work, they keep you right. And that also extends to them adding new features. You can sell digital and physical products, there's courses, there's bookings for physical and digital, and there's even native video. Yes, native, not just an embed. Which basically just means it looks and feels way better and way more pro. Now, it's all designed to work together, and rather than be a bunch of cobbled together features with inconsistent design, it's actually seamless and professional so that your customers actually have a great first impression.
I think the people who don't like transmog like seeing the cool stuff people earned in the raids and PvP, and when you transmog out of it, it makes it less special. I don't know, being able to have like the ability to transmog into any clothes that you want, I don't know. I'm looking at the mechanical base about it all, you know? Okay, back. Milk Genius. Back to the show.
First, pleasant even. Lots of people told him to do things like incinerate living creatures around the Dragon Isles. He did so with a smile. His barrier was impenetrable. He blew up enemies in a few casts at most. Then something changed. As he leveled and mastered new spells, he actually got weaker. Pyroblast felt like tepid air blast. He might have done more damage blowing kisses than throwing fireballs. It felt ridiculous. And then enemies chunked him with every swing.
You know, it kind of reminds me of the last video we just watched, where he was just talking about this experience where they feel like they're actually getting weaker while they're progressing through the levels. That's not a good experience whatsoever.
And before poor Milk Genius knew what was happening, he found himself needing everything in his arsenal to survive. Burst, Time Warp, Ice Block, all just to take on the local wildlife. The same wildlife, the very same wildlife that he had just been exploding with a simple glance just a few hours before. Now, of course, as an experienced WoW player, you're probably familiar with slowing down as you level, but I promise you, you have not seen anything this bad. We have not seen anything this bad because we just hadn't done this in a while. By now, it really is different. And this all made leveling a living nightmare. WoW felt like less of a well-designed video game. Fighting one mob without combustion was pointless. Pulling two at the same time meant certain death. It took every mage spell in the book to kill named NPCs, and usually in a few tries. this was not fun. It was somewhere between a pointless slog and just being insanely frustrating. And this is in the hands of a good player, someone with many years of experience. What do you think would happen to a new player? A new player who would die trying to 1v1 a regular mob, say a boar. They would probably quit the game. It's just hard to imagine anyone bothering with this. Even if they survived, getting weaker over time is kind of the opposite of what an RPG should be. There's essentially, in my view, no way they would stick with it. Not unless they had a whole bunch of friends boosting them and getting them towards the end game. And the sad news for Milk Genius is it actually got worse before it got better. Hours of struggling later, he finally reached Orgrimmar. He'd done the non-combat quests where he could. Now they called him to set the newest continent ablaze. Yes, he was being called to Kaz Algar.
Man, sounds familiar on how he's having his new player experience. Sounds familiar. It's like I've went through this before. It's the same game that I've played all those years ago. So I felt when the first HELLCAT in the Sea of Clouds was chunking me in Heavensward. Oh no.
Without a well-timed save from a hunter who just happened to be there, he actually would, well, maybe still be dying from that Nerubian lord you've got to fight in Dalaran in the intro. You know, over and over and over again.
Ooh.
Because it was actually just that bad as a fight. And remember, you need to beat that boss to finish the scenario. And that means that as a new player, there is no way to continue. It was genuinely impossible alone, and that's because Milk Genius was a victim. He was a victim of scaling and how it's essentially broken for the game.
Man, scaling strikes again, folks. AR mobs are significantly weaker than Heavensward. Yeah, it is. I keep telling people that 14 has an issue with not, I mean, if it has a scaling issue, it has a scaling issue. I hope they iron that out. I know they pay attention to that stuff. But when it comes to like the dungeons, going from ARR all the way up to Dawn Trail, there's an issue in terms of like how the mechanics work, what it teaches the player. And then when you reach Dawn Trail, it's like the difficulty spikes up for a lot of people. This and that is two different things, but like, I just wanted to say that.
As it is being played by new players right now. And the sad thing for Milk Genius is there was just about nothing he could do about it. So, how did we get into this mess? How did this happen? Let's break it all down then. Our actual problem here was gear. On the Isle of Dorn, the quest reward from the impossible intro quest really did prove that. And that's because the same slot went from plus 40 stamina to plus 1295. It's quite a lot more. It's an extra 25k HP. It's a 16% increase from just one item. That's out of 14 slots.
Damn.
And this was not just health either. This slot went from 20 int to 441, plus 3% crit and 1% haste. That was all from one single hat. Okay, what actually happened here? Well, Milk Genius had actually out-leveled so fast that he drastically outgrew his gear, and it was nigh on impossible to keep him with a set of gear that actually fit his level. Most of his equipment was so bad that he may as well have been naked, which is a sad state of affairs for poor Milk Genius.
Oh,
and of course,
that sounds
on
bad.
A fresh account, without the warband buff that gives you up to like 25% more XP. And of course, this was a fresh account. That means no heirlooms. Basically, this is the stock experience where there are really no pointers or explainers.
So you have past mechanics and past systems that should be implemented on a character as soon as they go into an expansion. Like they expect that for some reason. That's dumb. That's really dumb.
And that means that leveling is just too fast for how Blizzard's game actually awards people gear. Why? Well, campaign quests are designed with a specific curve in mind. You'd get a few pieces in every zone as you would level up. Then you would hit max with a full quest set of gear. Some pieces would
just
be
buy
a
a
few
boost. Oh my
lower.
god!
That's for a fairly obvious
just
reason.
Buy a
you
boost.
would maybe get one piece of gear at level 64 instead of.
What if people want to go through the gaming experience, huh? What if they want to experience the story that is World of Warcraft? Huh? What if they want to feel the experience of being able to go through it and going through whatever trial and tribulation? Like, retail has always had a system, like a core system issue. And I felt that when I myself started in Shadowlands. So, and I came back in Dragonflight, but the problem was I started with a character that was 20 levels away, quite literally from max. And I leveled 10 times and I went to Dragon Isles, and that was it. Stupid thing about that, I have no heirloom and I have several level 70s. Time walking helps with the gear right now, but what are the odds that a new player knows that? Level 60 to 70 should have given you at least some base gear to get you started. The gear thing I agree with, but the time walking, I don't know if they've changed that since I was playing, but when you're a new player, you don't get time walking. That's not unlocked. That unlocks at when your first character reaches max, apparently. Or reaches a certain, like, level. I don't know. I don't know if they changed that. They probably did. I hope they did. But I don't know if time walking is going to be the solution to that. I don't think so. It's basically the gear. Swipe, baby, swipe. Modern gaming is money.
At level 69, but that's not really a big deal. Job done, you've hit max level. And that's what happens because Dragonflight, and of course later on War Within, have got their continents designed for a 10 leveling span.
Yep.
Not a 60 or 70 leveling span.
Yep.
That's why this breaks. Players drop into Dragonflight at level 10. They then finish the campaign somewhere in the 40s. And that's when they essentially run out of easy gear.
What? In the 40s? They finished a campaign of Dragonflight in the 40s? Is that correct?
Which leads to this situation. This poor soul was still wearing gear from his 30s and 40s. He wasn't level 50. He wasn't.
I thought Dragonflight, you had to be at, like, the max level of Dragonflight to go to War Within.
Level 55? No, he was in his 60s. And this is not like WoW Classic. You see, in Classic, wearing a 15 green was fine.
Like I said, Dragonflight areas
levels.
are suffering
gear
from scaling
is
now.
absolutely nuts now, and that's the key difference between now and Classic. Every slot was hundreds of item levels below where it should have been. Thousands of stats behind. And you may say, just go get some gear, bro, that's the problem. Easy. Well, Milk Genius wishes it was easy. Some side quests drop gear. The odd world quests do as well. But even if you understand that system, which again, if you're a new player, you probably won't, there's no reliable way to replace garbage. As an example, when I say garbage, say, imagine that plus 10 strength belt that you picked up at level 25. Now, if you're thinking, just buy bind on equipped gear then, well, we thought about that as well. BOEs below level 80 are unbelievably expensive. Many of you probably know why. It's because the only people buying them are giga-rich transmog hunters who want to fill out their set. And that's an economic context that poor Milk Genius, and of course, every new player to the game, won't exactly be in. You see, with today's leveling speeds, you'll only have a few thousand gold by the time you hit this problem. And if you're in the know, you won't really want to spend that. As an example, just think about how expensive
leather belts
and crafting are up at max level. That means that spending any money in gear before level 80 is a huge mistake. But hang on a second. You may be wondering why you don't have that problem, why you are not like the poor victim of today's video, Milk Genius, and the legions, the probably hundreds of thousands of potential new players that are bouncing off World of Warcraft every month.
Yeah, why is that?
You and Milk Genius ain't the same. You'll have heirlooms. Those heirlooms will scale with level. And even if you don't, you can queue for every single dungeon with Chromie time. Or perhaps you'll only be leveling your characters during time walking weeks, where you can just spam dungeons with shorter queues and get loads of gear.
See, that's what I was talking about. So I don't think they fixed time walking for newer players. I didn't have access to time walking.
That's not what a new player will be doing. What we're talking about today is a new player problem. Now you can technically avoid
heirlooms.
Dungeons. Scaling is a little different.
You don't have heirlooms? Okay, and you're doing just fine? I don't even know where to start getting them.
there, but hey, you will get some gear. But the DPS queue times for Dragonflight dungeons are prohibitively long. And
time walking is an event, so it's not always there. Well, then that's also pretty bad.
Trapped in the Dragon Isles until level 70 anyway. So, if you ask me, asking a new player to AFK in a queue is not much of a solution to this problem. And if you're not convinced that this is a problem, let me put it this way. Blizzard putting WoW on sale like this is basically them trying to fill a bathtub. But what they, well, probably realize but have not yet acted on is that bathtub, well, you know, doesn't really have a plug in it. So all of those new players they chuck into World of Warcraft simply just drain away.
Damn.
Okay, look, I've got to pull the handbrake and do a crazy power turn, but trust me, I'm actually going somewhere with this. It's relevant. The Final Fantasy XIV director wrote blogs early in the game's life.
Okay, sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. They literally had to pull 14 out of their hat. They literally had to do some 14 comparisons on the WoW channel. Shit.
And he talked about something similar. There was a quest in A Realm Reborn. A few of you may know it. It asked you to get a full set of item level 5+ gear. And right beside that quest giver was an NPC vendor. That vendor sold the last item that you needed, a piece of leg armor, and the game explains all of this stuff to you. But here's what happened. Even with all of that, their stopping point data showed something different. The data showed this was the quest most quitting players stopped at. Which is kind of crazy, right? Such a simple barrier, yet it kind of destroyed their player signups. Now, they ended up changing this. They changed it to be more clear. When they changed, it actually worked. More people stayed. You see, players don't like being confused. They don't like feeling confused. And in this case, it's new players who have not put hours into an MMO. They're gonna feel confused real easy. MMOs are overwhelming. They won't put up with the sorts of bullshit that you and I will put up with basically all the time. Hey, we're WoW players, we're used to it. But they won't put up with that. Now, I do not have access to Blizzard's stopping point data, but I can promise you this. They have tons of people who finish the Dragonflight campaign, they hit the wall that Milk Genius hit, and then they get confused. The campaign stops giving them gear. They find that they cannot kill mobs. They also can't find side quests.
Yeah.
They get confused.
Actually, I remember that quest myself.
They try to Google
it didn't
things
stop
about
me,
the game,
but I just
Google's
wanted to keep
a mess. WoW data is just spread across lots of different websites.
All right,
Ones that
Ashley,
are
have a
useful,
good
but often
night.
high cognitive load to use.
Have a good night. Have some sweet dreams, and you know what? Hopefully I'll see you again. Thank you for stopping on by. I appreciate it.
I think in doing these sales, Blizzard is pouring time and effort into finding water for the bucket, but they haven't perhaps realized or acted on the fact there's a giant hole in the bottom of that bucket. But I do have some good news. It's not all hopelessness, because our boy Milk Genius found a way out.
How? How did he find a way out of this?
You see, once Milk Genius put on that new bit of gear, the hat that I described that gave him thousands more stats, everything changed. His new hat made him so strong that he could kill 3 quest mobs at the same time when he popped all of his cooldowns. Not very impressive, but it was a massive difference. It was moving from playing the game feeling impossible to feeling technically possible. Now, questing was still extremely slow. Gear came in drips and drops, and some slots just felt impossible to replace. So eventually, Matt, who, by the way, was the man behind Milk Genius, he ended up just giving up. He was tired of pretending to be a new player. He wanted a way out. Now, someone suggested he log out for 2 whole months, and that in doing so, the gear update function of the game would appear and give him a starting set. That was, of course, not very appealing, so instead, he learned tailoring and he just went and made all of his own gear. And this worked by pure luck. Cloth drops came from mobs anyway, but say a plate wearer needing to go and mine ore, well, that is a whole different story. Anyway, over the next level or 2, he was able to craft enough gear to catch up, to make Milk Genius strong. Turned out that Matt's game knowledge just got him back on track because he knew how to use the crafting system. That meant that now he could level up to 80 without having to pull individual
Yeah, but that's
mobs
still, you have to
one at
do
a time.
crafting.
And with that problem solved, he could start in the real task, suffering. playing at max level, which was the entire point of Milk Genius's existence. Now, part of all of this was actually fun, to be clear. Squeezing out every little bit of damage to kill mobs is kind of satisfying, and I'm not making this video to say that leveling should just be one-shotting mobs for 80 levels while you live in some sort of fugue state putting Doritos into your mouth. No. Players do need to learn how to play, and there's times where old Milk Genius was forced to learn how to play. But what Milk Genius went through is not what Blizzard intends. I mean, a few pieces of gear, doubling your health, doubling your damage, that is not healthy for the game. It's clearly not intended. I mean, we're in a situation where anyone who does not know exactly where gear comes from will actually struggle. And remember, we're talking about new players, who by definition do not know things. Now, if they don't know how to use their full kit, say maxing out
Why do you always want petties? You always want petties. There it is. He'll notice the hand. He'll notice it. After he's done, you know, chomping on his balls. Wait, does he even have those? What are you doing?
out their cooldowns or choosing a specific talent build, well, then this game, World of Warcraft, is genuinely unplayable. And if World of Warcraft is genuinely unplayable for new players, it's maybe a little bit tricky for Blizzard to actually grow World.
This is the same problem that I had with Shadowlands, and I thought they would have fixed the new player experience at this point. But it seems like they just didn't care. Which proved that all these years later, they didn't care.
World of Warcraft. Blizzard had a solution for this, but the funny thing is, they, well, actually just took it right out of the game. You see, the Winds of Mysterious Fortune event dropped bags with bonus gear, and that bonus gear scaled to your level. Basically, it operated just like bags from doing random dungeons, but now, of course, it's gone. And what the removal of this does is kind of screw over new players who basically bought the game in the recent sale. Because if they bought the game and maybe didn't hit level 80 in time, they could get completely slammed by the gear drought and them just not understanding where gear comes from, especially because when they signed up to the game, it came from the Winds of Mysterious Fortune event. Now, Blizzard could overhaul the scaling here. You know, simply lock systems designers in a room with spreadsheets and force them to fix it, to make the gear curve less sharp. But we all know that's probably a waste of time, that doing so would probably jeopardize the already delicate balance of the game, because every time Blizzard changes scaling, there are hosts of unintended consequences. So let's think about the simple way. And the simple way is to make sure players get more gear. Fairly easy. Basically, it's to bake those bonus gear bags in permanently for new players, or to do something that they actually did in the past.
But, like, because of how fast you gain levels in retail WoW, that's the reason why they need better gear in the first place. So they created their own problem because of the system that they created within retail WoW. This is something that they're going to continuously have until they fix it.
See, in this Pandaria, vendors sold full sets of leveling grades. You could actually just buy them to make sure you were ready. So if you add that, and then add a quest pointing players to that, then problem solved. If you want to be really lazy, well, just drop a full set of leveling gear on characters every 10 levels. Make it a quest reward. I think that would feel bad, but you know what? If Blizzard are having players abandon the game in droves, even though it's solving a nuanced problem with a humongous sledgehammer, at least the problem would be solved, and we would not have the player attrition that I'm fairly sure we have with new accounts. Now, at any rate, we know that a longer term, that a bigger systemic solution is actually coming here. Holly Longdale has talked about true change to the new player experience. That cannot come soon enough. But if it is going to be a while, I think Blizzard should do something about gear acquisition, because, like, look, we were honestly shocked by how horrible this was to play. I wonder if you're someone who hangs out in mentor chat, what your experience is like, seeing just the problems that new players have. At any rate, I would love to see the stop data, to see basically what Yoshi P shared in that blog all those years ago about FF14, but of course, for World of Warcraft.
You know, it's kind of funny how I think they still do some things with 14, but I believe that's on like their main Bellular channel, or yeah, Bellular News. Never mind. It's on Bellular News, which I'm subscribed to because it's news. I don't think they even do a podcast anymore. No, I'm pretty sure they don't do that anymore. So there's Bellular News, and then there's Bellular Warcraft. Didn't a recent interview come out? Did it? Wasn't that a live stream? Not a... I guess it was an interview? I'm not too sure. I think we have one more video here. Oh, it was an Asmongold clip. Alright, let's see it.
Minecraft creator Notch responded to...
Oh, I remember this. Yeah. Notch responded to Pirate Software saying, like, stop killing game, his disapproval of it, and basically was just like, well, I guess pirating is not theft then.
Pirate Software's disapproval of Stop Killing Games campaign.
But...
Jesus, 200.
Notch, listen, Notch, my man, alright? First of all, thank you. Thank you for speaking up on this. You're still wearing the damn fedora, aren't you? Alright, okay, let's... There's a game out there that needs your attention. Oh crap, what am I doing here? There's a game out there that needs your attention called Hightail. I'm just saying.
And 13,000 likes. If buying a game is not a purchase, then pirating them is not theft. Again, it's fucking bullshit that they're trying to tell you that they're gonna own your game whenever you fucking bought it, man. Pirate Software has spoken out against it, saying it will damage all live service games. Well, you don't have to sell it anymore. I was already sold. Read his first response. Let me see what he says. Minecraft creator Notch has made fun of Pirate Software for his streamer's ridiculous stance against Stop Killing Games. Just verifying that, yes, that is what I was talking about. So he even went back to like double down. Were you shitting on Pirate Software? Yes, that's exactly what I was doing. And I've seen this before. Pirate Software responds to Koji. There's even...
Is this gonna help you? You mean the guy who's never used Game Maker Studio, doesn't know Game Maker language, and talked a lot of shit but was wrong? It's just another like YouTube grifter trying to fight for relevance, dude. It's all...
I believe Asmongold even knows Pirate Software, so it's like... having to hear him go out of his way to start talking about Coding Genius. By the way, I saw Coding Genius's videos, and he intricately basically criticized all of Pirate Software's coding. He really did go through that game and was like, yeah, that's pretty bad. Why would you do this? That's a waste. Why? Like, you can make this easier. I don't know why there are so many lines here. Oh, man.
All that shit is.
But anyway, it's a real graph. Pirate lied again. Oh, my God.
This is the real graph. Pirate lied again. Wait, what? What is going on here? Christopher Farm published videos. Pirate Software reviews. The initiative clips of views numbers 100 million. Cursed Farms published video for the original was 250k views. Pirate Software publishes his video Stop Killing Games 1.3 million. Pirate Software video Stop Killing Games 2 currently 570k.
God, oh my God.
For context, Pirate Software posted graphs trying to prove how his videos had no negative impact on the Stop Killing Games initiative, and the literal creator of the original graph replied with,
"Hey, just noticed the post. I made the original graph and the PS line on it is on the 8th of August. I've made an updated graph with additional points taking into account the streams in the first video. Also changed the lower plot to linear from log scale, as many people pointed out. Indeed, they might be harder to read, but a line on it represents exponential decay. The updated graph can be found here, since you seem to have interest on the matter. The data set in Python code for plotting the original graph can be found here. Might add the graph for the graph in the imgur later. The original graph was pulled from r/data is beautiful and no credit given." Woo!
with more accurate data and showing the opposite.
Oh my God. Oh no. They have another. No! He's done! How is this still happening?
I hope that your initiative gets everything you asked for, but nothing you wanted. And I'll leave it there.
Alright. I'll be right back. Maybe I'll hit up Discord, be in Discord to hang out. See if we can play some Mecha Break, maybe finish it off with 14. I don't know. I'm gonna run in late since I have all the time in the world now. Oh my gosh, he did not in fact leave it there. Alright, I'll be right back, folks.
Check it.
Oh, I pressed the wrong thing. Alright, in any case, some people are wacky as shit. We got it wrong? What is this?
Well, here we are. After years of watching WoW collapse under its own weight, after years of developing lots of different forms of brain damage, we now know exactly why the Dark Era happened. Quite simply, Ian was afraid. He admitted to this publicly in a room full of game industry people. And what I love about this design talk that he gave is basically it's about how it took him a while to realize some mistakes and to learn new things about.
He was originally a raid leader, right? So how did he even get that job is my question. That is my question. All right. I do believe a good amount of my friends are just chilling out right now. I'm looking. I want to make sure that all of my friends are... I mean... can always check Twitch and see what the fuck's going on here. Let's see. I'm gonna do that. Also, thank you for everybody in the new follows. I wonder if yeah, it went up. Thank you everybody who's watching the new follows over on Kick. I appreciate it. You guys are the best. Anyway, what's going on over here? I don't see any of my friends here. I don't see like a whole bunch of followers. Luna's doing VR. Oh my gosh, 18 plus karaoke. Is that what he's doing now? We don't like that here. Let me see. 18 plus, never forget why you're standing on business. Big John really fell off after such... He used to have high heights. Big John really fell off when he started doing slots. Let me see what Luna's up to.
That's an L. Hello! Welcome to Chucky Buckle. I don't believe that for a second. Look.
Can we just... I love Luna, I really do. I'm not showing it on screen because I think it's going to flag my videos very harshly. I think Luna has a very over-designed avatar. I think she has a very over-designed avatar. I would switch screens to show it. But maybe it would be better if I just gave you a link to her Twitch, and you'll understand what I'm talking about. I think I'm going to do that, especially for my Twitch people. Oh, she actually have like a custom thing where if you... Wow, okay. Alright, cool. I don't have anything for YouTube for whatever reason. Weird. And she got close to screen. Yeah, she has like really over-designed like eyelashes and what's with her tail? Why is it covered in feathers? I thought she was supposed to be a cat girl. What happened with that? Honestly, I think it's a little over-designed. It's What's she talking about?
Here, let me...
Oh, it's less over-designed. Oh, it's more over-designed. Never mind, she switched avatars and it became... Oh god, she's so close to the screen. Holy shit.
is it doing?
Okay. All right. Well, Luna is on, so you know, if there's like anybody who I'm gonna go and draw back to, it's probably her. Anyway, I think we were going to be doing some mecha breaking. Raspberry tea. Add a hint of lemon into it, maybe 2 teaspoons of sugar. Raw sugar, has to be raw sugar or cane sugar. Tastes good. Obviously it's Celestial. It's the cheap brand. Look, don't look at me that way. I would get the more expensive version. I just don't have the money for that. All right. Anyway, yeah, we can head into Mecha Break, or they're playing Minecraft and Luna Neko. Or let me see. It says it's unstable. Or I can call it here and work on my video. Might want to do that. Yeah, it's 11 o'clock. We spent way too much time. Reacting to certain videos. I am glad that I learned that Iron Mouse can sing, though. Really happy about that. Yeah, maybe it'd be a good time for that. So let's leave it off here. I'm gonna have to call it early at least. Got an early day tomorrow. Word. All right, man. I wish I can go to work. Well, I do. I make it a job to look for a job. That's the credo right now. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Y'all have a good one. Bye.